I used to pal around with a guy by the name of Dick Spencer. He was the grand old man at Western Horseman magazine. He was a publisher there for over 40 years. And we'd be playing some, like the Wyoming Beef Cattle Improvement Association's annual banquet. And Dick would be the speaker and I'd be the entertainer. And lots of times we'd find ourselves in a room full of people that we didn't know, so until it was our time to go on, we'd just sit over in the corner and talk. And so we became pretty good friends. And they had a poetry gathering in his honor in Colorado Springs called the Great Pikes Peak Cowboy Poetry Gathering. And I was featured on that gathering one year, and Dick asked me if I'd stay at his house during the gathering. So I agreed to that, and I had a show in Denver to do, and then I went down to his house. So I got there about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't know it, but Dick's daughter, Candace, had been going with him to some of these cowboy poetry gatherings, and she kind of had a little crush on me. And so I got there about 2 in the morning, and she's in her tight jeans baking cookies. I said, "Ma, do you usually bake cookies at 2 in the morning?" She said, "Oh, yes. Oh, yes." Well, Candace later became my wife. And I'm just here to tell you, I haven't seen other cookie baked at 2 in the morning since that night. But after Dick died, this was Mr. Western Horseman. He'd been all over the world and had some fantastic adventures. And he was always such a friendly guy, and he kept in touch with everybody. So after he died, he just had stacks and stacks of letters correspondence that he'd written back and forth. And one thing that really burned his toast was when Ralph Lauren came out with this men's cologne he called Chaps. And I found a letter that Dick wrote to Ralph Lauren on Western Horseman stationery, and I didn't change it much. I just set it into a poem. So this is to Mr. Ralph Lauren, 505 Fifth Avenue, New York City. I seen on the TV, Mr. Lauren, that you have a men's cologne you call Chaps. It's probably a manly scent, or you wouldn't have called it that. Myself, I never used the stuff, and this may sound a little harsh, but I think men use cologne to hide the fact they haven't washed. So I can't really comment on the product, though I'm sure it smells just fine. It's the way you say the name Chaps that chaps my cowboy behind. You see, the name is derived from the Spanish word chaparejos, which in turn gets its name from the word chaparral, which again in Spanish means a dense thicket of thorny brush and trees, which all manner of cowboys have ridden through for centuries. Thus, needing protection for their legs, these chaparejos were fashioned from cowhide and are the leather leggings cowboys wear that come without the backside. Then us gringos got a hold of the word and shortened chaparejos to chaps. Much the same way we took the word tapadero and condensed it to taps. So the CH sound is really pronounced with an SH sound, you see, and to an old cowboy that's worn chaps all his life, it seems a travesty that you would use the cowboy's manly image to sell your fancy smell to the herd and never even take the time to learn how to say the word. Because the truth is, Mr. Lauren, even though I'd like to console you, anyone who says chaps for chaps don't know chit from China.